Game 2, Hawks, Bucks. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't remember what happened in Game 1, I am happy to remind you. Trae Young, what you know about that? Went for 48 in Game 1. He's been a prolific scorer all postseason, though. Young has 6 30-point games on the road. That is the most in a player's first postseason in NBA history. In fact, the Hawks can make a little history of their own tonight. Atlanta could become just the second team seeded 5th or lower, excluding last season's bubble, to take a 2-0 lead in a conference final. The 95 Rockets last did that en route to a title. And something to really watch for tonight, Giannis at the free throw line after the NBA acknowledged that Antetokounmpo should have been whistled for a pair of 10-second violations with 5 seconds to go in Game 1. He did make both those free throws, and obviously it didn't impact the outcome of the game. But the Hawks certainly have their eye on the strike.
I think the whole league notices it, to be honest. You know, everyone knows Giannis gets, 10-second violation on the free throw line. So obviously, we're in the referee's ear about it. You know, everyone knows this longer than most people's routine is. I mean, that's up to the referees to, make a call at that point. We can do all we want, but at the end of the day, the referee makes the call.
I mean, they were counting to 12 in Brooklyn, and they still weren't making the call. Malika Andrews knows. She was there. Joining us from the Eastern Conference Finals in Milwaukee, covering the Bucks side for us tonight, Mike Budenholzer, set to talk before the game tonight. What have Giannis and the Bucks been saying about those free throws?
Well, he's going to talk in just a couple of minutes, Elle, but when this came up in the past, Giannis said that, look, I am going to be sticking to my routine. And we know that Giannis Antetokounmpo is a creature of habit, Elle. And like you mentioned, in Brooklyn, the crowd was counting up to 10, sometimes higher. And in one game, actually, on the Jumbotron in Brooklyn, they put up a 10-second timer, but they were asked to take that down for the next game. And when Mike Budenholzer was asked about it, he said, I didn't see the clock, but I like where Giannis is mentally with his free throws. He called it a non-issue and a, quote, non-factor. And he said, we want him getting to the free throw line. We want him to be aggressive. And Giannis Antetokounmpo said, look, if it takes 10 seconds, it takes 10 seconds, and, quote, I'm going to live with that.
And there it is. And the rest of us are going to have to, I suppose, unless, of course, they call that violation. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that. The Bucks are not known for making drastic adjustments from game to game. And I think that's maybe putting it nicely. At least maybe Coach Bud isn't. But they need to change something from Game 1. So what are they saying about the importance of tying up this series tonight?
Well, they absolutely want to make sure that they tie it up because, as Giannis Antetokounmpo said, just because they came back from down 0-1, 0-2 to the Brooklyn Nets, they don't want to put themselves in a position where they need to be doing that again. And so this game is of the utmost importance to them before they head down to Atlanta. And in order to do that, they are going to need to play a little bit more physically, they said, on defense with Trae Young. They will settle for him taking floaters, but really, especially in the pick and roll, they want to be a little bit more physical with him. And the other point of emphasis, Elle, is offensive rebounds. John Collins and Clint Capella ate up the offensive boards in Game 1. They want to make that differential a little bit more even here because Chris Middleton said that could have been the difference in the game if we just got one more box out and one more offensive rebound, Elle.
Yeah, right. That's the downside, right? They were trying to contend with Trae. They had to go small, and because of that, they missed out on some opportunities to crash the board. Malika Andrews at the latest ahead of Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.